In this video, I wanted to compare with you all of these different countries and how exactly the citizenship times and permanent residency times look like. Because with Germany now putting its citizenship requirement, the time that you have to live in the country just for 3 years, that is by far the most attractive immigrant country right now. Well, not exactly right now because the law is going to be voted on in summer, but it's going to be soon the most attractive immigrant country. And that's why I wanted to give you some more details, because it is not as easy as you think about, like going to US, Canada, and Australia and thinking about getting a permanent residency there and things like that, because these countries I find absolutely awful in the sense that there is no surety that even if you're spending time in the country, that towards the end you will be able to get a permanent residency there. You know, for US, we already made a video previously where we told you that in US you have such a massive backlog and there is longer processing times and longer waiting times for people from India, China, Philippines, and I think there were a few other countries. I think you can see it right here. Mexico, China, India, it's you search on Google and you can find it. And like this is like 2 years is just the processing time. So you have like Mexico, China, India, Philippines, because there are a lot more people coming from there. So first of all, there is no guarantee. You can stay there for 20 years, 30 years, whatever. If you are not coming in the lottery system, you will not get a green card. And then after you have a green card, so maybe you're there for 20 years, you get a green card, and then plus 5 years, you get the US citizenship. But I actually don't see the sense of your US citizenship anyways at all, because it is not one of the strongest passports. If you get the US nationality, no matter which country you go to, US and Ethiopia, these are the two countries in which the taxes that you pay is connected to the passport. In no other country in the world. That's why I actually find it horrible to take the US citizenship, because let's say your business is growing really well and you want to go to a country where the taxes are a bit lower so that you don't have to pay so much of your money in taxes away. But if you're a US national, there is very, very, very little that you can do for those things. So that's why I personally find it like anyways very unattractive. If you take a look at all of the gun shootings and violence and things like that, like US becomes a pretty unattractive phenomenon for me. Australia is interesting, but again, the same thing. You have a cap of around 160 to 190,000 immigration applications every single year. And this is again decided on the basis of a point system. So the point systems have multiple different kind of things inside, what kind of profession you have, if you have studied or not, if you have like relatives in the country, things like that, many other things. So till the time you get that sorted out, and processing time in Australia and Canada just for the permanent residency alone can go from 1 to 2 years, whereas in Germany to apply for the permanent residency, it takes 4 to 6 weeks of time. When you are done with your requirements, you apply, you get your card, done. Super simple. So then afterwards in Australia, after you have your permanent residency, which I told you already, like which takes time, like after that you have 4 years. And then in Canada, you need to have a time frame of at least 5 years, because from that 5 years, they're going to check if in the last 3 years you were having Canadian nationality, so you were living in Canada or not, and then they will decide if you can get a Canadian nationality or not, right? So this is like, these three countries are unfortunately gotten a little bit weird, like, but things are different when you're coming towards these sides. In Germany, there is no requirement that, like, you know, first you have to then apply for the permanent residency and then the citizenship, things like that, because if you are having the C1 level of proficiency. Now, how do I mean by that? C1 level proficiency, you can find it directly in the draft, which is given. I will put the link for this. This is the actual law, which will be voted on. So here, for example, at the page number 6, it's written that die Aufenthaltsdauer nach Absatz 1 Satz 1 kann auf bis zu 3 Jahre verkürzt werden, when the Ausländer. And again, this is the reason why I tell you guys to learn German, because if you're coming to Germany, learning German is going to make you understand things and give you access to information that people who just know English will not be able to understand and will not be able to benefit from. I learned German back in 2016. It's been like 7 years. I studied my master's in German program, and I'm very happy that I took out the time to learn German, because once you're done with the German master's program, never in your life again you have to submit any kind of German language requirements to anybody else, because that is then already seen as native German proficiency. So native German und C1, like both. So here it says like besondere Integrationsleistungen, insbesondere besondere gute schulische, berufsqualifizierende oder berufliche Leistungen oder bürgerschaftliches Engagement nachweist. So you're essentially having like some very good integration things you're doing. I don't know, you were in some kind of voluntary group, things like that, or you were very good in the school. From the school, they also mean university, or you were very good in your Ausbildung, things like that. That's very important. Second is that den Lebensunterhalt für sich und seine unterhaltsberechtigten Familienangehörigen ohne Anspruchnahme öffentlicher Mittel bestreiten kann. So you can take care of the expenses of yourself, and if you have a family, you can take care of the expenses for them too, that you don't have to rely on the government support. And the last requirement is the C1 level proficiency. If you have these three, that's such a nice thing. I mean, I can stand with this completely, because if you want a German nationality, I really want you to be able to speak German. Like, it makes no sense to give somebody German nationality if they cannot speak German. But there the government thinks a little bit differently, and the government says that, okay, if you cannot learn German till C1 level, then you still need B1 level, but with that you're able to apply for citizenship now in 5 years. And when you are in Germany, you're a German citizen, it's one of the strongest passports. If you will take a look at the passport ranking, and I can quickly Google it, and we can see like what kind of rankings we have. Germany is still, it's number 2. It's a second strongest passport, and there is no Canada here in number 2. There is no Australia. There's none of these countries. There are only European countries, EU countries inside, and South Korea, of course. So that what makes it very, very interesting, that you're essentially having such a good passport, because if you're putting so much effort inside and you're like going through so many things, you're studying, you're working, things like that, you want to make sure that towards the end you're able to get benefits from it. And in no other country, not in UK, not in Italy, you need as a foreigner, a non-EU person, 10 years, and as an EU citizen you need 4 years of permanent stay there. So in none of these countries it is as easy, it is as straightforward as it is going to be in Germany with just 3 years of citizenship. So 3 years of time for citizenship and C1 requirement, or 5 years and B1. Because there is no point system, there is no drama like that right now. So the government is talking that they might introduce a point system. The moment they do it, things are again going to be not so nice. And this is the reason why I say, if you were ever thinking about coming to Germany, you were unsure, and you were always sitting on the fence, and you were always hesitating, it makes sense now to take some time out, research about it, because an opportunity like this, for the next 1 or 2 years, like this kind of opportunity, you will never get again in your lifetime. Now, of course, if you're coming to Germany, it makes sense to learn German. And so that you can learn German 3 times faster than anybody else, we have built this special Faster German framework. It's a completely free mini course. It has just 5 simple lessons. And with the help of these lessons, you can really boost your German learning, and you can see how to get started, what kind of mistakes to avoid, and every single thing in one single mini course, which is completely free of cost. You can enroll in this mini course with the link given below.